Hello, everybody. Welcome. You know it's Friday. You know it's 2 o'clock. You know you're listening to AM-1220 KHTS, and it's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. John.
We're interrupting this special program for Stormwatch 2016. Yes, it's raining, Santa Clarita.
Do not go outside.
You will get wet. Make sure that if you're driving your car, you use your windshield wipers. It makes it easier to see.
Do not let your dog out right
now. He'll
your
come
dog
in wet.
Will come back a mess.
Yeah, and hey, actually, maybe turn off your sprinklers. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, we're in a drought.
We're in a drought.
Hello.
You can't tell. Stormwatch 2016.
Hey, John.
Yeah?
Will you go up to my car and get my umbrella?
I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to answer that.
I want to change subjects. How about Maryland, your favorite college basketball team, getting ready to do the NCAA tournament?
Oh, my goodness.
Are you excited?
Oh, my goodness. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to answer that.
John, did we do show prep?
Oh, my goodness. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to answer that.
How about Ben Carson endorsing Donald Trump?
Oh, my goodness. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to answer that.
You know who you sound like?
Yeah, I do. That was my point. Hillary Clinton. Exactly. That's got to be the funniest thing ever.
What was the question that led up to that?
She got asked at the Democratic debate. So if you're indicted and you're charged with crimes, are you gonna drop out of the race? Oh my goodness, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to answer that. Well, didn't you just answer that?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
But her tone of voice had a lot more irritability in it than yours did.
A lot more.
She was not happy with that guy.
And then she goes into the whole, well, what I released wasn't classified at the time. Well, that's not what you sign, lady. You sign that you can't release information, period, because it could be classified, non-classified, even later. But the whole politics thing is silly. Because, Doug, I'm going to endorse you, but I'm going to tell everybody I know to vote for somebody else.
Wait a minute. Now you sound like Rubio.
Yeah,
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. Because a vote for me is not a vote for you. It's a vote for your opponent.
They call it strategic voting. And he wants people to vote for Kasich.
In Ohio.
To keep Trump from getting all those delegates.
Trump from winning.
Yeah.
But last I checked, I could be wrong. I haven't read the newspaper in the last couple minutes. Isn't he still running for president?
I think he is.
Wouldn't he be better served asking people to, vote for him?
Yeah, hello.
So maybe he could win the delegates?
Like the American way?
Oh, this whole thing. I was sitting in line at the grocery store today, and some guy goes, what do you think about this whole election thing? And I was, I was a nice guy. I didn't want to it's kind of an awkward conversation starter when I just let him get in front of me with one thing. And I'm going, it's kind of confusing, isn't it? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, they're all pretty bad. He goes, yeah, they are. And I said, and everything good you can say about one, you can say about all of them.
Yeah.
And everything bad you can say about one, you can say about all of them. Nothing really is distinguishing from anybody.
I tell you what's bugging me real quick, because we got a break, is all these people trying to manipulate the vote.
Oh, that's...
because those certain establishment types do not like Mr. Trump, which is easy not to like the guy. But let the people decide it's the American way.
Can I be part of the establishment?
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna
whatever that means.
I don't know either. All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're back after this short break.
We're back, everybody, on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. It's the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the Radio Digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette for all you need to know to be in the know. And it's my favorite time of the show. Go.
No, but we're gonna interrupt Heather's highlights for breaking news.
What?
It's still raining.
Okay. Oh, it is. Is this El Nino?
This is the Santa Clarita Gazette Free Classified AccuWeather. It's raining. So it is time for Heather's highlights. Now that we're done with the weather, it's raining.
Heather Harbin, everybody, the news director here at KHTS, for her weekly segment of Heather's highlights.
So what's going on in the SCV? Some cool stuff, I know.
I have a couple of... One big story happened just last night, not just big for the Santa Clarita Valley, but he's also a very big television star. The dog whisperer, Cesar Millan, is being investigated for possible animal cruelty.
What? That makes no sense.
He was whispering and the dogs weren't listening.
So he got upset?
That was a bad joke and I apologize. However, that's just...
Wait a minute.
There's a circumstance behind it. The animal control responded to his dog psychology center was actually located right here in Santa Clarita.
Wait a minute. Dog what?
Dog psychology center.
They have a dog psychology center?
Yes, they do.
It would be crazy not to, Doug.
It's right up on Blue Cloud Road right here in Santa Clarita. The animal control received multiple complaints about an episode of his series Caesar 911 where a dog was let off the leash and attacked a pig. The
Attacked a pig?
A pig, yes. Pigs were being used in the training. The dog was being trained. He had a history of attacking animals in the past. He did bite the dog, he bit the pig on the ear. It caused the pig to bleed. Good thing though, no serious injuries. And later in the episode, it even showed the pig walking the dog.
So it's really not so much, because what I would think is that, like I was kind of joking about, like the fact that the dog's not listening and he would get rough with the dog and somebody would complain. This was actually people being upset because the dog bit the pig.
Oh, so it was cruelty to animals on the pig?
On the pig, yes.
Not the dog, the pig.
Kind of like the cow jumping over the moon. Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to find this funny, but I do.
Everything is very preliminary right now, so there's not much information to go off of.
So he's a pig hater?
Hey, we're not talking about the police, Doug. Knock it off, okay?
I'm sorry.
Blue lives matter.
Oh,
jeez, Doug.
Do pigs' lives matter?
I don't know. That's
Do pigs'
next.
ears matter?
Well, what are chew toys made out of?
Pig ears.
Thank you. I rest my case.
I get it now. That's why he went after the pig. He liked pig ears. That's probably the treat he got when he was getting,
not big ears.
When he was getting trained. They used pig ears.
Yeah.
And
hey, look, there's
all
a
right,
live
Heather.
one.
Get off of this one.
Anyway, well, moving on.
Yeah, please. It's only going to go downhill.
I'm not sure if you guys remember, but last May, a body was found in the trunk of a Honda off of Golden Valley Road.
Parked on the side of the road.
Yeah, parked on the side of the road.
Yes, an
that.
arrest was actually just made last week in connection with that.
Wow.
His name is Andrew Anthony Wallace. He's 52 years old, and he was arrested in Lancaster on March 2nd. He was arrested for the murder of Jose David Flores, who's a 28-year-old Leggett resident. He was found dead in the trunk of his own Honda on May 31st last year, and around 11:30 in the morning. And homicide detectives would not disclose what led prosecutors to the victim, as the investigation is still ongoing. The suspect has not been charged with murder yet because the case has not been filed with the district attorney's office yet. But he is currently in federal custody on a narcotics warrant.
On top of that.
Oh, so he hasn't been charged with it yet?
No, he's not.
No, it's pending.
He was arrested for the murder of Flores, but he has not been formally charged.
But they're not going to let him out on bail, will they?
No, because he's got a federal warrant on top of it.
Gotcha.
So he's not going anywhere for a while. There's a lot of cool things about that case, because I always wondered, how did the guy get in the trunk of his own car?
And did it happen while it was still dark out?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, wait, hey, get in the trunk, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to kill you and put you in the trunk.
There must have been an accomplice, because how did the guy leave?
How did he leave?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and just like the other story, the story is very preliminary as well. I will make sure to provide you guys with an update when we get it.
I blame the pig. No, the actual pig, not the police officers. Doug, stop it.
I'm not.
Jeez.
Go on, Heather.
Well, let's move over to a happier note, shall we?
Please.
Yeah. Well, we actually got an exclusive tour of the UCLA Film Archive a few weeks ago,
and
wow. Our story was just published on Monday. I don't know if you guys have noticed a more Greek style building next to College of the Canyons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I have.
That's right,
yes.
where the UCLA Film Archive is. It's actually the second largest film archive in the entire United States.
Wow.
And it's right here in our backyard.
What type of things did they have in there?
They preserve film, audio, and they preserve films like Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz. They work to preserve the quality of the
quality.
films.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they if you want, we do have an exclusive tour of the facility if you go to hometownstation.com.
So is it like old films that are on actual film now?
Yes,
No, Doug, they're going to preserve new films.
There's actually
I meant like from the 30s to 20s, or
yeah, they do have Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz.
see, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
All the stuff that was probably colorized, they have to colorize, and then they have to preserve when it was colorized, and then they have to preserve the original before it was colorized.
A lot of preserving
there's a lot
going
of
on
preserving.
there.
And film does go bad. It turns into
Yeah.
like gelatin, gloppy mess.
There's actually 120 vaults where films are stored in cold storage.
That's huge. And I was going to say, there's got to be, I know, because I used to work for, my law firm used to do some stuff for a film storage facility, and some of the stuff that they had to go through just to keep existing film for future whenever was pretty significant. It was a lot of environment control stuff. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we do have an exclusive video of the tour if you go to hometownstation.com.
Very cool.
That's hometownstation.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that hometownstation.com, Doug? I'm pretty sure it is.
Not to be confused with SantaClaritaGazette.com.
Well, yeah, but yeah. Good point.
Anyway.
Okay, I'll just keep
But we
quiet.
have nothing on that story. So don't go there if you're looking for that story.
But you should go there anyway because there's a lot of good information
There
on
is.
both websites. Heather, what else is going on so we can shut Doug up once and for all?
Well, did you know Tuesday was actually the 174th anniversary of the first discovery of gold in California? It was right here in Placida Canyon at the Oak of the Golden Dream.
Wait, the
Is
first?
that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I
The
didn't
first
either.
discovery of gold in California?
Yes, I mean, it's debated. It's debated a lot of
Yeah.
what was the actual first discovery of gold, but it is known to be the first. It
So
was
if we
in-
claim it, then it's ours. It's kind of like, we're the first town. to ever
174
have-
years ago. Wow.
It was in 1842.
I would have said 1849 if somebody would have asked me, just because.
This is the 49ers?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe like 48. If we got it a year earlier. Haha.
It was actually found as Francisco Lopez was herding cattle in his niece's ranch in Placida Canyon. He fell asleep under a oak tree. He crossed a river into underneath a sycamore tree, and he put his knife in the ground to dig up some wild onions, and a piece of gold came up with it.
Wow.
Oh, I get the whole thing now.
Oak of the Golden
Golden
Dreams.
Dreams.
You catching
Who
this?
knew?
No, but here's a question I have, and I don't think anybody would know the answer. How much gold did they pull out of this area? I didn't think it was.
I don't have that exact number.
Yeah,
for
I don't
you.
think anybody's going to have that number.
I-
We'll have to, if anybody knows, email Doug at.
Why?
Yeah, good point. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, he.
Maybe it was fool's gold. Anyway.
Yeah, there's only one fool here, Doug.
Sorry,
Wow.
Heather.
Yeah. Well, that's all the stories I actually have for you
Okay.
today.
Okay.
I wanted to let you know about something that's coming up actually this Monday and Tuesday. KHTS is actually taking over 100 community leaders on the 2016 Sacramento road trip.
Are you going?
I will be going, and I'll give you an update on that next week.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So
Yeah.
we listen to KHTS. You're going to be the one interviewing people on the bus?
Yes, and myself and one of my reporters. His name is Enzo Marino.
Oh, very
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
You looking forward to that?
It's actually my first time in Sacramento, so
It should be a lot of fun.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Should
I've
be a
heard
lot of
stories about those bus rides up there. I want you to be careful, young lady.
fun. Wow. That was very father-like and creepy all at the same time there, Doug.
I'm so glad I never had daughters. But anyway,
Yeah, thank you
Wow.
so much for having me.
thanks, Heather. We appreciate it.
Wow.
Heather highlights. Heather Harbin, everybody.
All right. You're listening to the Gazette Radio Hour. Now, Doug, there's one small, tiny little thing that you didn't tell, that you didn't set up. We need to do a little bit of setting up. The dirty politics stuff is not just Santa Clarita. Did you know that? The dirty politics is not just Santa Clarita, Doug. The dirty politics is everywhere. Did you know that? Doug, pay attention. We're on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just national that's dirty. Hey,
look-
oh, wait a minute. News break.
I'm looking at the rain.
AccuWeather. It's still raining. Be careful out there. Drive safe.
Anyway,
All right.
sorry.
No, there is some interesting things that are happening. Dirty politics is not just it's not just national. It's not just national. You know that, right? There's stuff going
Yes,
on in Santa Clarita.
yes.
Not only some of the local stuff gets a little prickly at
I
times.
have people that write to us once in a while or
Yeah,
whisper
and-
in my ear.
And I get it, and it's some of the stuff. It's like, is there? You must have a very difficult time determining whether there's smoke or fire.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you do that? Do you do how much reporting do you do? Do you take these wild accusations? Because like somebody goes, "Oh, Trump's hair is fake." How much stuff are you?
Or he
gonna,
has a spray
Or he has
tan.
a spray tan. Are you going to investigate that stuff?
No, we get stuff quite a bit. You really got to decipher it and just decide. Have our reporters check into it and see if there's validity to it.
But-
and I hate to say it, but sometimes you go by the person's personality, because I get these anonymous phone calls once in a while, and you can tell the person's not. How do I say it?
Do you have like
Altogether there.
Do you have a newsmaker tip line or something?
No.
Or they just call the general
They
office
just
number?
call you, and everybody doesn't want to talk to them, so they transfer it to me.
That's kind of weird. Well, we have somebody not like that on the air. I got community activist Stacy. Is that a good name for you?
I I am. That's
Okay.
perfect.
Wait a minute. Is this Stacey Fortner?
It is Stacey Fortner.
It is.
We're going to call her. I was going to call you my favorite Democrat, but I figured that might be insulting to some of the two other Democrats I know.
Two others. You guys be nice.
The two
Remember,
others
Doug?
that are worth their salt. How's that? Is that better?
That's good.
Okay.
But remember, Doug, I was nice to you on Facebook.
I know you were very nice.
All right.
And you are my favorite Democrat. So.
Okay. Well, I've got two others that you're in contention. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're in the top 3. Anyway, all right. So we have this issue going on. Obviously, you're supporting a candidate for the 25th congressional district.
I am.
And
Go Lou.
Go Lou Vince. He's actually been on the show. Interesting guy. There's some intellectual disagreements, but Doug got this weird letter, and he actually published it. And we were talking about how he vents this stuff. Sometimes letters to the editor, he just kind of lets it go. But let me give people some of the backstory. Is that all right, Stacey? And you can correct me when I'm wrong. I did notice I said when I'm wrong. Okay.
Well, yeah, when, because we know you will.
I know.
Okay.
That's why I said when I'm wrong. All right. So Lou Vince had a very storied career as a police officer, LAPD. And then he decides he runs for sheriff, makes an unsuccessful bid for sheriff, and is now running for the 25th congressional district. Suddenly, we get this whole Cecil Miller thing. There's a federal lawsuit arising out of a 2000 traffic stop where Mr. Miller was pulled from his car, allegedly ran over Lou's Officer Vince's foot. There's charges back and forth. He was never hit. He was hit. He was exonerated. And you read this story, and I won't even tell people where you can read it because some of it, I'm not going to lend any credence to it. But everybody and their uncle is saying, oh my gosh, this is a horrible thing. And then people start coming out with different versions of the truth. And then to me, the interesting thing is the motives. So I wanted to talk to you, Stacey, about stuff like that. How true is this story?
Well, there was an incident that did occur 16 or so years ago. Lou was run over by Mr. Miller. And then everything after that is questionable.
Okay.
So basically, Lou was exonerated. He didn't do anything wrong. There was another person. You didn't mention the woman who said that Lou hit her in the face
That's
or
right.
something.
That's right.
Right. So there was another woman who said that Lou punched her in the face, and that didn't happen. And she actually pleaded no contest and was disciplined through the court system all on her own. And I'm sure that's public record, and you can go look that up if you know her name. And if you don't, then PM me on Facebook, and I'll get
there
you
you
details. But anyway, so that did happen. And you're right. I mean, what were the motives? So you have to look at when the story dropped. I mean, how convenient that the story dropped on the 25th anniversary of Rodney King.
Oh, jeez.
So you have to look at that. But what you guys don't know, so you've seen the story in the news, but what you don't know is that we knew about this story a week before it ever hit the press, and we went to convention.
We being people who support Lou, and you went to the Democratic convention, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
We went to San Jose to the Democratic convention, where they threatened us the entire weekend that they were going to bring this out during the African American caucus.
Oh, jeez.
Now, yeah, imagine that. I mean, and what is so tragic about this whole thing is that Lou supports the Black Lives Matter movement. Mm-hmm. As a police officer, he's worked within his whole career as a person who is fair and honest and would like to stand up for truth.
Right.
And so he supports the Black Lives Matter movement. And to use this as a weapon against a good officer is deplorable. This is a smear campaign. We know that. We know that because we were threatened with it for so long, and none of this had anything to do with Lou. This was Lou's partner, and the partner was disciplined appropriately. I don't know exactly what the punishment was for his partner,
right.
But I do know that it did occur. He was disciplined, and he had nothing. It had nothing to do with Lou. And Lou was dropped from the suit that the city ended up settling. So his name isn't even in the settlement documents, because it's tragic. It's sad.
Stacy, let me refer back to the letter that was in the Gazette this week that came to us kind of anonymously, or the gentleman did give his name. But one of the things he claims is that that Vince got the city government to pay out $150,000 of stolen money. I'm not sure what that means, to settle a lawsuit. And then he says Lou claimed in a separate message that the facts are in the public record, without mentioning that folks seal the public record as part of settlement deals. Can you shed light on that?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. Yeah, I think what happens, people sit there and go, well, check the public record. It's all right there.
Right.
Candidates in general. I'm not saying anybody, but. And then they may not realize that it's sealed or it's not sealed. But it is okay. So if something like this did actually occur, it is kind of important, and get it out there and talk about it. And everybody can change their position or change their mind, and there's two sides of each story. But Stacey, let me ask you this: do you have any clue who would be behind something like this? Here's your free shot.
Oh, jeez.
Because I heard, and I've seen some of the postings on Facebook that it's a carpetbagger.
It is. It absolutely is.
Who is the carpetbagger, Stacey?
I will not say his name. I will not.
So it's a him,
not give him any free press.
Him.
Okay.
He has supposedly he has carpet bags full of money, so he can pay his own media guys to get his name on the radio.
Okay.
I will not say.
Answer me this: Republican or Democrat?
He is a Democrat.
Is he going to run against Lou?
He is Lou's opponent.
There you go.
There we won't go too far.
All right. Can I switch gears a little bit?
Yeah,
you're going to anyway. It's your show.
Yes.
We've been through this, and
Stacey,
your name is first.
We had Lou Vince on our show 2 months ago, John. Something like that. Anyway,
yeah.
And the most disturbing thing that he said that had me fall out of my chair, when he said the most important thing.
Let me do this. I actually asked Lou. I said, okay, you're running for it's a big district. As our representative, what do you think is the biggest issue facing the people of Santa Clarita, for example, right now? And his response was the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
I can't speak for Lou. I
asked if you agree with that.
Oh, he's going to hold your feet to the fire.
What I would have to agree with that in part. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with it. I believe that we do have issues with the environment. I mean, we're kind of like the epicenter of national disasters. We have 2 landfills in our district.
Yeah.
Not one. We have 2. We have Chiquita. We have Sunshine. We have Whitaker-Burmite. We have, what is the
CEMEX and everything
gravel
else.
pit? The CEMEX, yeah. So actually it's CEMEX. Thank you, Mike Devlin, for clarification.
Oh, really? I always call CEMEX. It's just easier that way. Because that's But
yeah, so we're kind of at this epicenter of stuff waiting to happen. And so I think that we do need to take a hard and tough stance on the environment. So I'm not going to disagree with Lou.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, for him to say that's the most stressing thing that's happening to us, that to me that.
Well, Doug, you're a fiscal guy.
Kind of wacko bird stuff.
You're a fiscal guy. You're a fiscal guy. Okay, back off. How involved are you in the campaign? Can you tell us how it's going for him? Is it because it seems like it'd be an uphill battle to an unseated incumbent?
So I've been given the title of super volunteer.
Super volunteer.
I work.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think that that's what I do on the campaign. I just volunteer, and I am a supporter, and I do have something that I want to read to you guys, if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Yeah, you got a sec?
We got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So read fast.
Oh, okay. I'll read fast.
There you go.
Okay, so truth matters. People's lives and livelihood depend on our willingness to seek out the truth and not just to accept partial truth or any lesser form of the whole truth. I have no problem with the airing of facts, but I cannot stay silent when a candidate who can't win on his own merits chooses to run a swift-boat-style campaign using meritless allegations to malign, smear, and attack an innocent, hardworking, 21-plus year community servant who protects and serves us all. This nonsense speaks more about the character of those spreading the false and libelous information than whom they are speaking about. It's a shameful smear campaign against Lou Vince, an LAPD lieutenant with a clean and commendable record of honorable and departmental promotion, and is a perfect example of why there aren't more upstanding people willing to run for public office in our communities and throughout our country. I stand with Lou Vince for Congress because he stands up for all of us every day, and because he has proven his innocence and was cleared of all wrongdoing. His partner, however, was not cleared and was appropriately disciplined. That is why the LA Times didn't run the story in 2014 when Lou Vince ran for LA County Sheriff, the highest enforcement position in the country. And that's why they haven't run it now. Yeah. And that's why Lou's Democratic opponent and his supporters had to shop the story around, and only the LA Weekly would publish it. Yet this week, that team continued to smear Lou with baseless allegations at DipCiv meeting and elsewhere. It's absolutely disgraceful. Yeah. Since his 2014 race for sheriff and now his bid for Congress, Lou has run on a platform that includes justice systems reforms to address the problems that we all know exist. Lou knows that there are bad apples in law enforcement and other parts of the system, and he is our ally for addressing those problems head on. But let's be clear, Lou is not one of those bad apples.
Stacy, I'm so sorry we got to interrupt you, but we're on a hard break, and the engineer tells us we got to go.
Okay.
But Stacy, even though we disagreed vehemently with each other on political policy, I love you to death. You're a dear friend.
And you're still my. And you're okay. You've now bumped up to my favorite Democrat. Congratulations.
But wait a minute. I thought we were going to take questions. We don't take questions on this show.
No, we don't.
I don't
get
questions.
To. No. You can come back on and debate Doug over Hillary Clinton. That'd be fun.
Okay, because this is a lot of fun. I appreciate it, you guys.
Okay, no thanks, Stacy. Stacy Fortner, everybody.
All right, you've been listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're back after this.